The train car had been sitting at the far end of the yard for as long as anyone could remember. Rust flaked from its sides like dried leaves, and the number stenciled on its flank for 9-1 was barely visible beneath layers of grime. Most people pretended it wasn't there. Parents warned their children away from it. Conductors avoided even looking in its direction. That was exactly why Jonah couldn't stop thinking about it. He was 12, with a habit of noticing things others ignored. A loose rail spike, a bird nesting inside a signal box, the way fog curled differently around old metal. Every afternoon after school, he cut through the rail yard on his way home, and every afternoon his eyes drifted to the abandoned car at the end of Track 9. One gray Saturday, curiosity finally outweighed caution. Jonah waited until the yard went quiet. No whistles, no engines coughing to life. Just wind and the distant clink of a loose chain. He hopped the low fence, heart thudding, and crossed the gravel, each step crunching louder than he liked. Up close, the car was bigger than he'd imagined. Its doors were half open, frozen in a tired yawn. Inside, darkness swallowed the light. Just a look, Jonah whispered to himself. He climbed in. The smell hit first old iron, dust, and something faintly sweet like forgotten paper. The floorboards creaked under his sneakers. Light filtered in through narrow windows coated in grime, slicing the darkness into thin gold stripes. The car wasn't empty. Wooden crates sat stacked along one wall, their markings faded and peeling. A long bench ran down the center, bolted to the floor. At the far end, a conductor's desk leaned at an angle, its surface scarred with scratches and initials carved long ago. Jonah ran his fingers over the carvings. MH 1938. Lives here. He shivered. Then he heard it. A sound not quite a noise, more like a vibration. A low hum, as if the train car remembered what it used to do. Jonah froze, breath held. The floor trembled gently beneath his feet. The windows brightened. Outside, the rail yard was gone. Sunlight streamed in, clean and sharp. Jonah rushed to the door and looked out. The yard was alive, workers shouting, steam rising, engines gleaming black and red. People moved with purpose, laughter cutting through the air. The car jolted. It was moving, panic flared, hot and sudden. Jonah stumbled back, grabbing the bench as the world outside slid past. The train wasn't speeding, but it was real solid, unstoppable. On the desk, something rattled. A leather-bound notebook slid toward him. Without thinking, Jonah caught it. Inside were names, pages and pages of them. Notes scribbled in careful ink. Delivered safely. Stayed on for one more stop. Didn't want to leave. Jonah's chest tightened. These weren't passengers. They were people who had used the train to go somewhere else somewhere they hadn't meant to stay. Hey, a voice called. A man stood at the far end of the car, wearing an old-fashioned conductor's uniform. His face was tired but kind, his eyes like they had seen too much and kept going anyway. "You're not supposed to be writing," the man said gently. "Hi, I didn't mean to," Jonah stammered. "I was just exploring," the conductor smiled, sad and understanding. That's how it always starts. The train slowed. The hum deepened, then faded, light dimmed. The world outside blurred and melted away like paint in rain. The car lurched once more and stopped. Jonah found himself alone again. The abandoned yard lay outside, silent and gray. The notebook was gone. The desk stood straight, as if untouched. Heart pounding, Jonah scrambled out of the car and ran all the way home without looking back. He never entered the rail yard again. Years later, when the train car was finally removed, workers found something strange carved into the bench at the center. Jonah visited, left, and sometimes, on quiet afternoons, when the wind is just right, Track 9 still hums waiting for the next curious soul who thinks they're only going to take a look. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more strange tales.